You know that kind of situation that starts with a simple whisper, a quiet chat behind the scenes, but suddenly grows into something massive that leaves the entire fan base restless. Well, something like that is happening right now at Newcastle United. The atmosphere behind the scenes at St. James Park is more intense than ever, with suspicious glances, unexpected phone calls, and closed-door meetings happening more frequently. Something big is brewing, something that could directly impact the club's future and, especially, one of the biggest stars in the current squad. And listen, if you are a passionate Newcastle supporter, the kind who does not like to miss a single bit of what is going on behind the scenes, do this right now. Subscribe to the channel. That simple click helps our work grow and guarantees that you get firsthand all the updates, negotiations and hot rumors that could shake the future of our beloved Newcastle United. So do not waste time. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because what I am about to tell you will definitely surprise you. And just like any good transfer saga, what is happening right now has that typical plot full of twists, mixed statements, crossed interests, and of course, massive behind-the-scenes pressure. At first, it seemed like just another rumor, like many others that come up during this time of year. But bit by bit, the information started to connect, and now, we can safely say that we are facing a situation that could explode at any moment. By right, you must be asking yourself, but what is actually going on? Well, hold on tight, because it is time to spill the beans. The information that started circulating and was confirmed by Chronicle Live is simply the comeback of an old story that many honestly thought was already buried, and the name behind it, Anthony Gordon. Yes, the winger who shone last season for Newcastle is back in the spotlight in the transfer market, and to be precise, is once again being targeted by Liverpool. That is right, Toon fans. The saga involving Anthony Gordon and Liverpool's interest, which hit the headlines exactly 1 year ago, has returned with full force, and we are not talking about just any rumor. This information is fresh, coming directly from the investigations of Chronicle Live, which confirmed that Liverpool are indeed willing to invest heavily to take Gordon away from Newcastle. And when I say heavily, it is no exaggeration. We are talking about an offer that could reach £100 million. But this time, the context is slightly different from last year. Back then, the pressure was there, but the club was in a more comfortable position. Regarding the PSR rules, those financial sustainability regulations imposed by the Premier League, now things are much more delicate. Newcastle does need to make some financial adjustments, and that makes any offer of this size, no matter how crazy it sounds, something that absolutely has to be discussed. And listen, if you want to keep getting all the real-time updates about this possible deal and everything else going on behind the scenes at our Newcastle, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I am serious. Not only does it support our work, but it also ensures you are the first to get every new update, every rumor, every exclusive detail we bring, based on the most reliable sources following the club, like Chronicle Live, who are tracking this story very closely. But the most curious part of this whole situation is that, even with this astronomical offer and all the pressure going on behind the scenes, Newcastle's position remains the same, at least for now. Manager Eddie Howe has made it clear in several interviews that he does not, under any circumstances, want to lose his key players. And according to sources close to the board, the club's plan does not involve letting go of key players like Gordon to solve financial issues. On the contrary, the goal is to strengthen the squad. But there is one detail nobody can ignore. In the Premier League, money talks loudly. And as Newcastle's CEO Darren Eales himself said recently, every player has a price. And if this offer really does hit the £100 million mark, it is hard to believe the board will not at least stop to think about it. After all, that money could unlock several other important transfers for the club. It is worth remembering that last season, Newcastle had to make some moves to stay within PSR requirements. Selling players like Elliot Anderson, Odysseus, Vlachodimos, and Yankuba Minna allowed the club to breathe financially. And now, the potential sale of Gordon once again emerges as a viable alternative for Newcastle to continue strengthening without falling foul of Premier League financial sanctions. But what about Anthony Gordon himself? What does he think about all this? Well, if we look at what he said in the past, we get a pretty clear idea. The last time this story came up, he gave an interview to Sky Sports, making it clear that he was very happy at Newcastle and that, most of the time, he only found out about the rumors through the media. At the time, he even joked saying, "Who said I want to leave? Nobody has asked me anything." And in fact, everything suggested that Gordon was well settled and happy at the club. But football, my friends, is dynamic. And if last year this transfer talk stayed in the realm of rumors, this time, with the financial context tied up, the possibility seems far more real, especially considering that Liverpool have long maintained a declared interest in the player, who was born in Liverpool and, of course, has an emotional connection with the city. And trust me, if you are finding this conversation interesting, just imagine what is still to come. The next few hours promise a lot of movement, a lot of backroom discussions, and who knows, maybe even an official offer landing on Newcastle's table. So, if you do not want to miss absolutely anything, do this now. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and stay with us, because our commitment is to keep you fully informed, in real time, with the hottest updates straight from the best sources. In fact, one thing that is catching a lot of attention is the fact that Liverpool, in theory, already have players in that position, like Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo. So why this strong interest in Anthony Gordon? The answer, according to journalists who closely follow the market, like Lee Ryder from Chronicle Live, is that the club sees Gordon as a completely different profile, more aggressive, more direct, someone who can offer something that is currently missing in Liverpool's squad. And that is exactly what makes this negotiation so complicated. On one hand, Newcastle do not want to sell, but on the other, there is financial pressure and an offer that, let us be honest, is almost impossible to ignore. And from the player's side, as happy as he might be, the chance to play for his hometown club, fight for major trophies and maybe even become a star at Anfield, weighs heavily, no doubt about it. The fact is, this story is far from over. The transfer window has barely opened and the movements are already in full swing. And, as always happens in football, everything can change in the blink of an eye. That is why it is crucial to stay tuned to every detail, every update, because situations like this tend to evolve very quickly. And of course, you will follow it all right here on the channel, with information always from reliable sources like Chronicle Live and insiders from the club. So, tune fans, drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you sell Anthony Gordon for £100 million? Or do you think Newcastle should do everything to keep him, even if it means tightening the finances? I really want to know your opinion because this is one of those topics that truly splits the fan base. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and stay with us to follow every chapter of this saga, which, no doubt, still has a lot more to come.